Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get the updates. I am so excited for today's video. The beers are courtesy of Dave. Thanks so much, Dave. I really appreciate it. This is awesome. I was actually thinking of doing a theme beer for Thanksgiving. The one I had was a little bit of a stretch. And then I get hit with not one, but two perfectly themed beers for Thanksgiving. And I thought to myself, you know what? I haven't done a battle beer video in like a really long time. I actually don't remember the last time I did one. So it just seemed like this perfect storm of, and I don't have to work tomorrow. So it just seemed like this perfect storm of like, yeah, uploading something I haven't uploaded in a while, and two perfect beers for Thanksgiving. So yeah, and you know what's cool too? They're both the same style. They're both from Magnify Brewing, so it's pretty cool. So this is Danksgiving, which is just such a great name, and it's got a turkey. And as they're cutting into it, there's like an atom bomb cloud with the rings and everything. Like hops are shooting out of it. Imperial India Pale Ale, 8% ABV. I think they're both 8. Yeah, they're both 8%. And this one has Equinaut, Incognito, Citra, Apollo, Simcoe, and Citra Cryo. And this one, not that I want to say I have one that sounds like it's going to be my favorite of the two, but, oh, sorry, this one is called Hop Gravy. And it's a gravy ladle, gravy boat, with gravy pouring out, but there's hops in the gravy. But this one has Citra Mosaic Incognito, Calypso, Nelson, Ella Sabro, a hop I'm quite enjoying lately, and Mosaic Cryo. So yeah, let's get into it. I haven't had a Magnify beer in a while. Tell you what, that smells good already. That one smells good already. Got about the same amount of liquid underneath the head on both of them. Whatever. It's not perfect. So this, I don't know if it's just the lighting, but this one looks a hair lighter, this one a hair darker, but what you see is different because of how the lights are positioned. So they might look, I might have it wrong from what you see, but from my vantage point, yeah, this one's lighter. They're both like borderline butternut squash soup. Like they're beyond hazy. They're turbid. They could be butternut squash soup. Actually, the more I'm looking at, the more they look similar. But this one's still a hair lighter. But anyway, speaking of looking, they're both 8%. Like, so is it the same grain bill and process? Just the hops are different. I don't know. But it's got that soapy head, like it's sudsy. It's not super compact bubbles, which is actually kind of cool because lately I have not had beer heads that look like this. So it's kind of like, just from a beer reviewing point of view, it's like, oh yeah, something different. And typically aroma, but especially taste is where I kind of am like, oh great, this looks different. But these beers look different than a lot of the stuff I've been drinking lately. So even just aesthetically, like that's really cool. But let's get into some proper aromas. There is a little bit of a dankness at first, and then you get this awesome sweet candied orange citrus. Peach rings for days. That's what that is. There is sweet candied orange, but it's the peach rings candy. That's what this is. That is very peachy, very ripe peach with that orange. That is wonderful. I know I'm not like saying a bunch of different things, and for some people that might seem like a negative, but like those two notes I'm getting are beautiful on their own, and how they're working together. That's phenomenal. Let's get into this one. This one I get a little bit more vegetal, which is interesting. I didn't think that given the hops. I get some of the, I think it's the yeast. It's almost nutty, and I think I've identified that comes from a yeast ester. But yeah, it's like a little nuttiness. This one's fun. This one, it's exploding with those awesome, fruit aromas. This one is not. And again, this is what I was more excited about just because it's got all these freaking cool hops in it. I tell you what, I'm really struggling to get much else out of this. A little pineapple when I do it that way, but I'm struggling, I'll tell you that much. Let's get into a taste. Cheers. Awesome mouthfeel. Like the name suggests, it's dankier. Although the very first thing I smelled was dank before that awesome orange and those peach rings came through. So it does have a nice level of bitterness and dankness. Kind of going back to, it's an Imperial IPA, which in my mind means it's going to keep most of that, or somewhat a decent amount of that bitterness that an IPA would have, while still, bulking up the ABV. Probably because of the bitterness on my tongue, it smells a little bit less sweet now. But again, it's probably because of that working with what's on my palate right now. I still like that aroma a lot. You do get some like peach juice mixing with some orange. There's a little like orange juice. Then it's a kiss, and like when I say a kiss, I mean about as minimal as can be of orange zest mixed in with it. I like that beer a lot. The aroma had me excited. I think it was pretty clear from that. But like I would drink a lot of these. I would drink these often. There's like a little generic tropical fruit as well. So kind of like the aroma, like, although there is that dankness and there's a nice, I love the level of bitterness, and I love that they're calling it Imperial IPA. I think it has some of those, it scratches that itch a little bit for like the juice heads out there. But like if you only want straight juice, this might be too bitter for you. But like for me, who loves it all, I think that's a really special, delicious beer. Again, this aroma wasn't doing much for me. Let's see how it tastes though. It does have a bunch of hops I really like in it, and some I don't really know very well, so I'm very intrigued by this. And if anything, maybe the aroma has me more intrigued. Cheers. I mean, this one also has a nice mouthfeel, has a good level of bitterness. That nutty thing is in the taste. It actually tastes like it smelled. Maybe it's because there's too many hops in it that things are just kind of muddled. Citra Mosaic Incognito, Calypso, Nelson Ellis Sabra Mosaic Cryo. I mean, like, just daydreaming about hops I'd want in a beer. This has a lot of those hops in it, and it's not the product of the sums for me. Excuse me. Like when I smelled it out of the can, I get a little bit of pineapple fighting through. I'm getting some, okay, I'm starting to get a little bit more. I don't think it's suffering too much because it's the second beer I'm drinking or smelling. I don't think that's what the issue is. But now I am getting a little bit more distinct. I get a little bit of that lemon with a kiss, like I was saying before, of the white wine. So like I am getting a little bit of Nelson specific. So there's something else going on at least. I mean, yeah, that lemon for sure. I mean, maybe it's just because I like this one so much more that this one seems like a letdown, right? Now that I've had a few sips of it, that lemon is nice. It has a little orange in it as well, so I always appreciate that. I don't know though. I don't know. Maybe it's the less is more kind of a phenomenon right now. It's Cuvée. That's about all I got to say. Clearly, I like the Danksgiving a lot better, but I'll happily drink both of them. But yeah, in terms of buying them, I would buy this a lot. Just based on this, I probably wouldn't buy it again. But let's see what the Cuvée. The citrus is coming through a lot in the form of that orange, like I mentioned before. You get some of that lemon, maybe a hint of lime, not full on like a lemon lime soda, but you get a little bit of lime as well. That peach preserve, candied peach thing I was getting so much is really muted when I combine the two at this point. It does have some of that dank, traditional kind of an IPA thing. Hey Bruno, what you doing, buddy? A little bit of that generic tropicals getting in that. But it's got that like weird woody thing. I don't know. It's got this thing that this is overpowering what I really liked about that. Let's see about the taste. Cheers. Taste isn't bad. Again, that mouthfeel is awesome. The level of bitterness, I mean, even in this one by itself, the mouthfeel, very enjoyable. That level of bitterness, balancing with the sweetness, very enjoyable. It's just the specific flavors, that hop combination apparently was not doing it for me. Yeah, it leads with the most obvious flavor in that orange juice, then some orange zest. You get some of that lemon zest. The lime thing, I do get a little bit. So very, very citrusy that way. I'm not getting grapefruit. The aftertaste, very dry. You kind of, it has like some of the, what do you call that? Like it's a little prickly on my palate. I can't think of what term to use, but it's a little prickly. Yeah, it's not if anything, it's subtracting from this taste. It's not like getting better because I did both of them together. I would buy this. I know I'm repeating myself. I'd buy this again. I'd buy this. I'd buy this. I'd buy this. This I would let sit on the shelf. Putting them together is fine, but this by itself, I think this is kind of a special beer, to be honest with you. I think I've extended my time. Thank you so much, Dave, for sending these. I really appreciate it, man. I think you can tell I'm out of practice drinking this much beer on camera at one time. But thanks for sending it. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Check me out. Oh, man. Check me out on Instagram and Untapped. There's no hype beer reviews about those places. So always please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.